Right now I'm a bit shaking because it's too cold. I don't cycle in winter. Usually they go at about 130 kilometers an hour. It's -3 and that frost is just everywhere. Even my helmet is frozen. It's -3 and the feeling is -6. When you cycle in a temperature below 6-8 degrees Celsius, you are cold. If you want to get warm, you cycle faster. If you cycle fast, you get very warm, but you'll start sweating. When you start sweating, you can cycle shortly. If you cycle for a long period, like over an hour, your sweat accumulates and you get wet. When you get wet, you are cold. When you're cold, you start cycling faster, but your muscles don't work because you're cold, and basically you cannot stop. If you stop, you get very cold within minutes. Right now I'm a bit shaking because it's too cold. I have to fold my tent. I'll run for the train station because cycling at -3 with a summer spring gear is a disaster. I'll take a train for a short time and it should get into positive temperatures around 11-12, and then I can cycle for 100 kilometers or so. Even my lamp is nicely frozen. Beautiful and cold day. It's so cold. I want to scream. You plan a trip from Italy where temperatures were 18 degrees, 16 degrees, and you plan for the lowest 10 degrees, maybe 8 at worst, and you check the rest of the Europe being very similar at the same time, and then yes, you assume that Central and Northern Europe will be 4-6 degrees, and now you get -3 with a feeling of -6. That's not what I have signed up for.
Last night was brutal. Temperatures dropped to -3 degrees Celsius. I used every trick in the book. Toilet paper rolls stuffed inside the sleeping bag, dry leaves and grass beneath the tent, all spare clothes layered on. 2 pairs of socks, gloves tucked into my trousers at the hips. Even placed both feet inside my laptop bag and zipped the sleeping bag up to the nose. I had my thin raincoat, a Mac in a sack over it, gloves, neck warmer, and hat on. It was just enough to make it through.
Such a beautiful day, no wind, but my fingers are numbless. I cannot feel my fingers at all. My lips are barely moving. They're frozen. What I've learned is that in Czech Republic they have so many rail tracks, and the network of the train is so developed that you can get basically from any village to any village around the country and even internationally. It's crisscrossed everywhere. Trains go like every hour from town to town, even more frequently. So They are fast. Usually they go at about 130 kilometers an hour. Most of them have a place for a bicycle. Very few that don't or have no space because it's occupied. But majority is pleasantly well structured, and I see but as a cycle I see a lot of bridges and new railroads being constructed, or at least the old ones being rebuilt. So it's a very good sign. I'm leaving Ostrava behind me, and this is the sign which most likely says don't cycle in winter. Yeah, but for example, I have tires with spikes which are meant for ice and snow, so I would be okay, but probably that's for most people with regular tires. That bridge apparently is a border between Czechia and Poland, or Czech Republic and Poland. It was just clearly marked. I just see the Polish and Czech flags up there. So I am in Poland right now. I still have 80 kilometers to go to my campsite, where I'll take some rest. My legs already took some beating this week, and they do need some rest. I personally like that Polish have replaced some cobblestones to a more modern pavement in the old part of the town. It doesn't shake as much and it looks very similar. So far, so good. I'm happy with this weather. I can continue going, and I would be fine doing another 100 kilometers today, but in the morning it was so cold. I've cut out 100 kilometers out of my today's trip with the train. I tried riding in the beginning, but -3 is a complete disaster without proper winter gear. I'm going 34, and the bus driver decided to overtake me when it was just 30 meters to the bus station. He must be brave, smart, and drives Porsche. Half an hour in traffic jams already, and it's strange. It's 3:30, and the city is so busy that it's hard even to move with a bicycle in Poland. I have very little left to reach my camp, to conclude my day. It was a nice dry day, but it didn't get warm. It's cold. I'll use AI to help me think and be creative on how to get warmer with what I already have, and how to keep myself warm until morning, even at -3. Because this last night I was sleeping, but I woke up when it probably dropped to -4 or 5 at midnight. I tried to do some exercises to warm myself up before we're going asleep again. But my sleeping bag is designed only to positive temperatures until 2 degrees, not for negative ones. But by being creative, I can use my gear and whatever I have to just survive the night without getting cold. Old Polish style houses and a new variant rebuilt. Nice one, really nice. Wow, that's a piece of art. It's a bus station, real piece of art. I'll go shopping now to buy some food for tomorrow morning, to be ready to roll tomorrow. The shop is somewhere that way. Really nice beach, but a bit too cold for me. So I had a good chat with the AI, and smart AI has suggested the following: dry grass and leaves, get as much of them as you can, place them under the tent, then use the bag as a foot warmer. Just put your foot, both feet into the bag and slide with it into the sleeping bag. Use the additional leggings you saw that are meant for spring ride to roll on the arms as sleeves. Use everything I can to put around my neck and head, because that's where the most heat is being lost. Our neck and our head loses almost as much heat as legs and body together. Winter gloves on while sleeping, and the toilet roll, the bags, put them in the bag so have more air in the sleeping bag. The rubbish bags that I have should be put under my sleeping bag because they provide a micro insulation and micro reflection of the heat. All the other bags, all the other stuff put around me to create a little barrier of air to provide me as much insulation as possible, and that should help me survive the other night that is going to be cold without getting too cold and probably sleeping comfortably.
Tomorrow, the plan is about 120 kilometers. Same again the day after, leaving me just 50 kilometers for the final stretch into Warsaw on day 17, where I'll catch a bus back to Kaunas and meet my wife. This journey is nearing its end, but there's still grit and road left to conquer.